everybody, rest of the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. It's match day late lunch. Match day late lunch. If anyone new to the channel, we've got a few newbies recently. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying it. What we tend to do is for a home game is we do a couple of hours before we do sort of our lunchtime live show direct from the London Stadium. Or if it's an afternoon kickoff, it's usually match day morning instead. Just to give you guys a feel of what it's like to be here. Obviously, not everyone can be here. Only 60 odd thousand people are here, and there's millions of fans all over the world. So to give you guys a little bit of a feeling, like there's no fucker here, though. There's no fucker here. He doesn't wait up until bloody 8:15, which is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, we welcome our North London friends and colleagues, Tottenham Hotspur, London Stadium, 8:15 kickoff in really a crucial game, I think, for any hope of really sort of competing in these last sort of 8 or so games to get back into Europe via the Premier League position, to be honest. The teams below us have got more games to play. Obviously, we play Wolves on Saturday, so it's a real opportunity to try and put some points on the board and put some pressure on the teams below us, really, and maybe even put a little bit of pressure on the likes of Man United, potentially. I don't know, stranger things have happened at sea. Let's see, we've got the chat. We've got Incredible, hope you're well. Garino, hope you're well. Nice to see you. Afternoon, all man. Afternoon, Stefan, hope you are well. Big game, mate. The next 8 games, is it 8 games left? All 8 games in the Premier League are going to be big and aren't they, to be honest, who misses. And it's a big week. This today always gives them a big sort of 10 days, really. Obviously today, then Wolves, and then the first leg of the Leverkusen game. So yeah, 3 huge games coming up, starting tonight. That's for sure. Anthony, good afternoon to you. Maltese, nice to see you. GP's in the house. Here you are. Well, I'm predicting a fluky low draw. Russell with a late penalty. Traditionally, Spurs, recent times, Spurs done all right here at the moment. Obviously, don't forget it's our cup final, isn't it? It's our cup final. We're the ones who mention it. But anyway, happy cup final day to everyone. Yeah, it's going to be a weird one. Obviously, we know no Alvarez. We know no Areola. I think those are the only 2 outs for sure. Obviously, we welcome back Alvarez for the Wolves game, then he's suspended to the Leverkusen game. It's a shame because it's critical. I think it would have really given us an extra boost. But that's the trouble, and that's the downside to Edson Alvarez. Really, is he does get a lot of yellow cards, so they have piled up recently, and they probably at the worst time to get a suspension. In honesty, all right, the Hammers are up. Will, hope you're well. Getting a early save the atmosphere. Savour, of course. Don't forget, if you get early, we got Darren from Underworld, Darren Emerson. He's going to be DJing today, so looking forward to that. Like Darren, he's a top man, big West Ham fan as well. So good to see him down here as well. Hi Vic, hope you're well. Can you play Hoddle and Waddle Diamond Nuts? No. This is the game I love to win, but I hate Spurs. We all hate Spurs, don't we? It's the one game where the sort of old adage, the form book goes out the window. But this game, it really does. It has a special place in our hearts, isn't it? I don't know if anyone saw Martin Noble's TNT interview with Jermaine Genius, but it was hilarious. And just shows what it means to him, because he's a West Ham fan like us. And I hope he imparts some of that to the current team in terms of what it means, to both sides to beat each other. It's, obviously Arsenal Spurs is the main rivalry, but, similar rivalries against us and Chelsea as well, I'd suggest, for sure. If 3 went up 15 minutes, do we feel on KP? Probably not. After then, I've got a stadium tour in 2 weeks. Nice, enjoy that. 2-1 tonight, says Stuart. Nice stadium tour. Is it done by, you can get them by the legends. Is it done by a legend, or is it done by a normal person? Wonder if Phillips will get booed. Yeah, probably. Not looking forward to this, as you don't know what way the Clown Boys is going to play. But if he goes all that out, I think we could win this. Don't forget, we've got the Cavalier-style football of Ange Postecoglou. So I don't think we'll be countering his Cavalier style with a cavalier start. I think it will be the Moyes way and try and hit one on the counter attack. I mean, it's good to see. I mean, obviously, some of the positives coming out of the Newcastle game, one being the fact that all three of the front three all scored. Kudus, Antonio, and Bowen all scored, which is great. And that gives him some confidence. Obviously, he did take Antonio off, so he is rested for. He only put 60 minutes in his legs, so he was taken off. So that has to be justified in his performance today. Was he right to take off? In hindsight, no, he wasn't right to take off. In the moment, maybe, but maybe not for Phillips. Antonio was having a bit of a field day. It'd be interesting to see what happens today. How did we lose that last game? Shocking. One was taken off. He's injured, mate. He's got I think it's hamstring pull. He won't feature today. Fabianski will be in goal today. And touch and go whether he'll be ready for Wolves. At the end of the day, that's the great thing about having two first choice goalkeepers, really, in that both can play interchange with one another. And there's not really so much of a break in service, really. Obviously, Ariola's the better performing keeper at the moment, but Fabianski is a very good, number two, and arguably both could easily be number one in the 2/3 of the Premier League, if not 3/4 of the Premier League teams. So this is where that belief to keep him on, Fabianski on, and we're meant to believe another year he's going to get another year on his contract extension for next year. I think that's the right call, because it's games like this where we're not throwing in a kid, really. What do you think of the reaction? I reckon it'll be a lot of boos. It'll be a lot of boos. There might be some cheers. I mean, I've been reflecting on it, listening to what people say, and I get it was wrong. I get it wasn't the right thing to do, but the amount of time someone said something to me, I was like, fuck off. But no one's recorded it. That's the problem. If he put his whole hand up and said fuck off, but like you wouldn't have heard him say fuck off behind. But it's just a finger action, so to speak. It's all about the finger action. But I think he'll get booed. But as we said on the Sunday, there's a great opportunity now for him to take that negativity and turn it into positive. Go out and go, fuck you guys, boo me. I'm going to show you I'm a good player, and go out and put a performance when he comes on. Spurs is the best game to get the crowd behind you. If he comes on and the first thing he does is clatters Heung-min Son, or he clatters Maddison or someone like that, everyone will be like, go on, son, because it's such an easy, not an easy game, but it's such a it's almost not a free hit, but you can really make a name for yourself. Pedro Obiang will be known throughout his time, the rest of his footballing career and afterwards, for that goal against Spurs amongst West Ham fans. So there's a real opportunity for him to really show he's got some big bollocks and go for it. Give the boys a big cheer from I'm working at Fratton Park. Big game, Fratton Park tonight, isn't it? Top B second, isn't it? Home for West Ham wing, coming you Irons, indeed, Marcus. Big shout out to Stel. Yeah, indeed. Stel sadly lost his mum a couple of weeks ago. And we've obviously been in contact with him to check he's all right. Expecting a more defensive Matchday. Nope. I'm predicting, and obviously we'll be doing the we're doing our starting 11 show a couple of hours before kickoff. I think apart from Fabianski for Ariola, I think it's the same side that started against Newcastle. That's the only way you can go. I would maybe prefer someone like Johnson instead of Soufal, just because obviously, we know that Soufal isn't the best when it comes to pace, and they've got very pacey wingers, the likes of Brennan Johnson, people like that. But I think, and I maybe prefer Ben Johnson in terms of that pace. But what you don't get with Ben Johnson, that you get for Vlad, is the crossing and the assists. So it is like a yin and yang, really. The word legend gets thrown around. I saw mentioned as a West Ham legend. I did a whole thing about that the other day. Was it not the other day, beginning of the season when Declan Rice left? And I put together a criteria for what a legend is. And to qualify for, in my eyes, rather than being a cult hero, is winning Hammer of the Year multiple times, playing at least 300 games for the club. What was the other one? Winning something with the club, and having the admiration of the fan base, which sort of, well, yeah. So someone like Declan Rice hasn't played enough games for me to be considered a legend. So like Billy Bonds has, tick 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 tick. Jared Booker, tick 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 tick. You know, Joe Cole, tick tick, didn't win anything. So, but I'd say Joe Cole was a cult hero. The Canyon was a cult hero. He only played 100 and something games for us. So yeah, Anton, I love him. He's a nice guy, but no, we can win. They lost 3-0 at Fulham the other week. Indeed, they're there for the taking, mate. Kevin on the bench, yeah, I think so. Russ, can't sit too deep. You're very right. You're very true, mate. They will tank us. They will if we sit too deep. But then they can't put it over the top, and that's probably the thinking behind it. After the Michael, hope you're well. Best form attack is defence. Yeah, we all know that, mate. Yeah. You won't mind us saying it. It's Billy's Facebook and on the West Ham Voice new Facebook page and stuff. And so yeah, I think you'll see a reaction. I hope so. We need to, because as we enter this really tough period now, where we've got some really big games. I mean, every game is a big game now. Was it 8 games left? 24 points. 24 points up for grabs. It really is a big. Everything's leading up to obviously you've got Leverkusen next Thursday, the first leg. And it's going to be tough. But it really is not in our hands. But the fact is, if we beat Spurs today, we get a draw. If we beat Wolves on Saturday at the weekend, it starts putting momentum together. And that's what we need to go on now. We need to go another one of these runs where we're picking up wins, dirty wins. It really is now. His last sort of, hopefully more than 8 games, because obviously we've got 10 games, we've got 2 Leverkusen. These next 10 games, hopefully more, is about just getting the result. It really is at the moment, because that's what's going to matter. It's the result is what matters at the moment, because we need to get points on the board. We need to make sure we're qualified for Europe next year. The reason being is, regardless whoever's in the dugout come August, if we're in Europe, we're more attractive. That's it. More attractive, side to recruit players in. We'll have more money. We'll have more money coming in. So in terms of more money to spend as well through PSR. So it really is imperative that we get into Europe somehow next year. Who knows? We could win the Europa League. I don't think we will. We could win the Europa League. And if we did that in the Champions League, the money is astronomical you get. The money we've got from the Europa League compared to the Conference League, it's about twofold-ish already. So it's mental. 3 times this player blows it, needs to stay off the pitch. There we go, Pete. Isn't this the way to greet fellow? I did that Slam Blues and they locked me in Nick's shed. It's just like, mate, you're right, mate. Defence can't handle the pressure. Wasn't abused to the bird in front of his kids, needs to make an apology. We did a big thing about it, because obviously it went a bit mental, it went viral, went everywhere, and on the back pages and all the talk pages, it just went crazy. And Anton's was there, and so Anton said exactly what it was. There was no abuse. There was nothing. Some guy just shouted out useless as he walked onto the bus, and he reacted spurred moment. It wasn't prolonged. It was someone went, "Oh, useless." And he said, "Fuck off." That was it. That was it. But in a weird way, it could be the catalyst to see a different Calvin Phillips. You know what I mean? it's always certain players when they're faced with adversity, they then go up a gear. It's always with Moyes as well. When it's always builders, or if he loses today, he's going to lose his job. There's an extra 10% he gets out of players, and they always win that game. So look, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. At the end of the day, he's still when he gets to the pitch, I give him a clap because he's a West Ham player. You know, maybe not for long, but he still is a West Ham player. He's doing what we would love to do. And do I agree with it? No. Do I think it is justified? Possibly by him. He must be frustrated. He must be annoyed. He must be upset. And as I said on the Sunday show, you know, we didn't know what Anton mentioned. He was the first on the bus, and obviously always give him a rollicking. He probably thought he let his teammates down. He probably felt the world's against him. And then one person just says one thing, and it just takes him over the edge. And it was a reaction. It wasn't a prolonged attack. It was a spur of the moment thing, which was unfortunately kept captured on camera. That was the issue. Any bruise will pay in significance. It takes off an attacker. Totally right. Was shocking. Is it because of his contracts? Well, I mean, I've spoken about it before. I think we've got the option to offer Vlad a 1-year deal. I think that's what we do. You know, he thinks he deserves more. Well, show us you do deserve more. You know what I mean? I think once you hit 30, 31 as a footballer, you deteriorate quite quickly on a year-by-year basis. You know, I remember when Zabaleta, the first side, he was brilliant. In the space of a year, 18 months, he'd gone completely. And that's what I think is what's going to happen to Vlad, particularly as the game gets faster and faster and the wingers get quicker and quicker. He's going to sort of struggle and struggle. I'd rather use that money he's going to pay for that extra 2 years and the improved contract for him on securing more youth team players, or giving Ben Johnson the improved contract he wants, or Divine or someone. You know, that's what I would do. But hey ho, I'm only a fat bloke chatting outside the stadium. We all know you're a legend. Oh, thank you. Newcastle's ever taken. I totally agree. Do you think we'll get into Europe? Look, is 1 in 3, or two out of 4 or 5 teams will be in Europe. I'm including Man United in this as well. And this is obviously on the basis that 7th will get into Europe. It could be 8th gets into Europe if Villa win it, or Liverpool win it in the Champions League, and then we get the extra Champions League spot and yada yada yada. But you know, it really is us, Man United, Wolves, Newcastle, and Brighton. I think 2 out of those 5 will be in Europe next year. And so, you know, what's that? 40% chance, really. Every game matters. I totally agree. Got cocked up, so we're lucky indeed. Of his mental health, poor lad must be on the verge after being called. But that's what I mean. It's like, as I said, you know, if I had a really shit day at work and I came in and I don't know, someone's stubbed my toe, or someone just, you know, knocked into me at home, or I knocked a drink over, that'd be the one thing that would take me over the edge, and I'd swear and put my things up. And we could win this game. It doesn't do the team talks. Afternoon, haven't been on much. I've been overloaded with designer clothes and 80s. Let's be. Oh, interesting, man. Well done. Ordered loads of design. Good luck to you, mate. Hopefully it's going well. Hope you enjoy. All of them need to get behind Phillips. Yes, he messed up, but when getting his normal slot slated, it is normal to react. We've all done it. Yeah, indeed. He just did it the wrong way. Second chances, he can still contribute. And I think he will do. And I don't think Moyes will. Moyes is the type of person. Don't forget, when Kurt Zouma kicked the cat, he was in the starting lineup that day. That day it came out. We thought he was going to be dropped. No, he puts him straight in there. In a weird way, he might start Calvin Phillips, you know. I don't think he will, but he's more often than not. More often than not. You know, as I said, the Zouma thing, first thing he did with Zouma was he put him straight into the lineup after that video came out. Doesn't help that he has lost his English place too. You're totally right. And I think he has, he's basically, he saw this as an opportunity, definitely this is an opportunity to get bang back on the door for England again, and it hasn't worked. And I don't think it's likely to work now. I don't think he's going to be in the Euro squad at all. And apart from a complete miracle, but it won't happen. The ironic thing is, for me, I think we got him to cover when Alvarez gets suspended or injured. And like against Newcastle, I thought, right, Phillips definitely starts. And he didn't start. JVP started, which went against what I thought was why we were getting him in. So when you're thinking, well, what's the point of getting him in if you weren't going to play him against Newcastle, Spurs today, and Leverkusen? What's the point? And then there isn't any. Do you know what I mean? You could throw George Earthy on. There's so many more options you can do. You could put Danny Ings on Saturday. You could have put Obama on Saturday. You could have put Children on Saturday. Rather than put on Calvin and Sharp Shop. And it didn't work, as we know. Afternoon, Russ, afternoon, Michael. Still got 3 days off, you lucky bastard. You only get redemption if he gets the winner's night. Mental, isn't it? Could you imagine? Wasn't it a penalty as well? Totally agree. Has a chance to rise from the dead. Indeed, they say we get 6 teams with new stuff. Potentially, if we win the Europa League, it will be the most teams ever from our nation will be in the Champions League. That's what was nice to be the other day about that, because that would mean that we would get the extra spot. That's on the premise that Man City, Arsenal win the Champions League as well. So we'd have to win the Champions League and Europa. If you won the Champions League and Europa, that would be enough points to get the extra spot as well. So we'd get the 5 spots, plus we'd get the extra spot for what's the name for us winning it. But it's based on the coefficient scored, isn't it? Yeah. Could you imagine playing the Champions League music here in Minton? It's mad to keep checking for the post, as you know how quickly pull up and drive. Oh, I was talking about your shirts. Okay, mate. The car before the storm at stadium, important. Come back, you'd stay up. Yep. How are you feeling about today, Russ? Highly confident. I'm always coming. As I said, when Spurs come to town, of course, it's our cup final, isn't it? So, cup final day, anything can happen. Form guide goes out the window, and it's really the side that wants it more wins the game. Because it's not, they play some beautiful football, play some nice football under Ange Postecoglou. I like him as a manager. But we've got that bounce back ability. How many times this season we've gone down and then scored, and then although apparently someone was saying, I think it was Alex on TikTok, he was saying that there's only been one time where we've had a 2-goal lead and lost the game under Moyes, and that was Saturday. So it's about time it's about time to have some faithful players who wants to get 90 minutes indeed. Did well, no Red Sea in that game for them. That gurgling noise off his stomach. No gurgling here, mate. I don't think anyone thought would be up so far for pace possible himself. Don't hold any feelings towards him and move on. We do. You're totally right, Damien. I don't think we assumed he was going to be, we've heard from Pep before, and I think it was on when he turned up for England or whatever as well. Pardon me, that he was, he's not very good at keeping a level of physical fitness. I mean, Pep called him overweight when he came out international duty once, and I think Gareth Southgate's the same thing. Some players are just naturally fit. I just don't think Calvin's one of those players. It's not his fault. He's just naturally not fit, not a very fit person. So it takes him longer to adjust. And for someone hasn't played for so long consecutively, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. And, you can have a level of fitness, but it's not match fitness and match sharpness. And unfortunately, it's sort of yin and yang. He needs to play games to get match fit, but he's not playing games because he's not match fit. So it's like, what can you do? It's like a double-edged sword, really. Given being in the wrong decisions, what's the probability of getting done again tonight? Quite possible, mate. We will win this game. Cheers, what you do, mate. You really do. Cheers, mate. Thank you, Jason. Hit the like button. Let's hit the 3 points. Let's hope so. Where does this rivalry come from? Geographic, really, I think. You know, you can go back, bring it back to longer. I'm sure someone like Nigel Khan will be able to give you a bit of a rundown of why. But I mean, you know, in the 70s, Martin Peters obviously played for, moved to Spurs. Jimmy Greaves came over this way, and then Paul Allen in the 80s and Clive Allen in the early 90s. There's always been players who have played with both Jermaine, Les, Bobby, those types of things. I think it really probably started most. I mean, I can't remember. I'm just not liking Spurs, but not. I think it might even be someone like Dad's lasagna game, like when it properly that rivalry, because very often we'd win a game, we wouldn't win against Spurs, and you know it wasn't. But now it's a different type of. It's just taken on a new level, really. It might come down to that. I don't know. I'll ask Nigel one day. Russ, what is this? Russ, start warming the lasagna, just not too much indeed. Quietly hoping that again comes back in. Well, again, I mean, yeah, I mean, personally, for a game like this, you know, I think you need some pace in that centre back pairing, which I don't think we've got one quickish, one in terms of Mavropanos. Obviously, Zuma's not. I'd have two mobile centre halves. So again, and Mavropanos makes sense as a pairing. I don't think it will happen. But yeah, you're right. Werner will have a field day with Brad if he's in, and it probably will be, to be honest. After Howard, hope you're well. Lasagna. How long? Well, they reckon a short amount of time. They reckon he's not playing today. He'll be out today. So, but I would assume maybe touch and go for Wolves. If not, then maybe you're looking at Leverkusen, maybe. I don't know. They haven't put a time frame there. They haven't made about decisions that much, but we certainly have been. My mother said she used to be a grassroots rep at Watch Football for years. Found out about Calvin Phillips and non-response, and is now permanently Moyes out. There we go. Interesting to know. What you buy KP in the Senate? What? That's so you mean happy KP. Mate, there's loads of them. Loads. Would you buy KP in something? No. Don't think we need to, mate. I think he's. I was reading articles today that he's up for 30 million. But he'll be 28. We did spend 30 million on JWP, but JWP was, ready to roll. No, I don't think we need to. I think there's better players who are on who can get for less money, as well as looking at the likes of Freddie Potts, who's having a great time at Wickham. I mean, he's got. Is it next week? Is it this week? This weekend and next weekend, he'll be at Wembley for the UFL Trophy against Peterborough. So yeah, I don't think we would. It's about time the ref gave us a VAR. I don't usually wear my specs on stream. I don't usually wear them on stream, but because I'm usually got a big light in front of me. But yeah, I think the rivalry comes from thinking a massive, it's a hammer, a massive unfackled and choked like. Oh, very, very animated there. What I do to see celebration, customer celebration, Antonio, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think we need. I think Kudus needs a Bielsa seat. He needs his own Bielsa seat, doesn't he? Really, he needs his own seat, which he can just. Someone can wheel out when he scores a goal, and he can sit there and just do his own rather than having to berate a ball boy to do it, which he did against Newcastle. GP, it's my pleasure, mate. It's my pleasure as always. If I'm here early, I'll jump on and do a live stream. We haven't done many this week, with the Easter bank holiday and stuff like that. But obviously, back on, get back into the swing of it, so to speak, in terms of Thursdays. Oh, pardon me, I'm absolutely exhausted though. That's don't get off to R5. Yeah, I know I'm here a bit early. Ronnie, thank you. Come on, your Spurs. All right, mate. Our cup final. They're the ones that bang on about it. You're very true, Steve. Very true. That's what I always say. It's our cup final, but they all talk about it. But no, anyway, what do we think in the chat? What do we think about the result? Let's get some predictions. Put your predictions in the chat, and we'll go through them in terms of score lines for tonight. Azari, hope you're well. We need to win this. I can see us scoring 3 tonight, but sadly, can Spurs score 4 indeed. Saw Spurs fans say our front four will get anywhere they fit on. Whatever. Kudus needs a throne rush like the king he is. Forget coming to America. This is coming to East London. Great, love it. And actually, aren't we going to America pre-season? I think it might be. I think there's a tournament which we're one of several clubs who are in the hat to go to. So, could you imagine they would do something like that? The club would, wouldn't they? Definitely. 3-3, 4-2 says Ronnie, a Spurs fan. 2-1, 5-0. Paqueta Ings hat trick. Oh. Could you imagine how to get the West Ham fans behind you? Turn over Spurs today. It's always the Spurs game which seems to sort of be a catalyst for something. I hark back to the Great Escape year when we lost 4-3. Do you remember? Mark scored was it Mark's first goal? I think it was Moses' first goal, and that was the springboard we needed to stay up. 2-1, Produce, 3-1 Anthony. Trophy Dodger in the chat. Championship Europe. We know what we are, don't we, Steve? We know what we are. I wonder how many times will we see in that today. Vic's gone for a 3-2 to Spurs. Ooh. Vic. What am I going to go for? I think as always, a Desmond 2-2. I did say earlier. I'm on holiday this week. Oh, why not try Gerd? Johnson said that bring on Ings in place of Antonio for the last 20 minutes, chasing the game 3-2 to us. Well, I mean, everyone was wanting to try Tilo Kehrer in that sort of CDM role. They never did, and they never will get the opportunity now by the looks of it. Looks like he's already hit his milestones to make his move to Monaco permanent from his loan spell. Again, I mean, I've always fancied if Emerson needed a knock or to push Emerson up the left wing a little bit more, putting Agard as left back because he can play left back. And actually played really well. And he came on. What game was it? Was it the game? Was it the Bristol City or what? Brentford game or something like that? He came on and he played all right. A bit too late, but he came on and played all right. Through and hopefully our front four will cause you havoc. 3-1. Looking good, mate. 3-1. Start to predict to see him. I know that's why I'll give you 2 goals, but your defence won't do us. Fair play. Does a derby like this need have any effect like chosen with high energy? These types of games, the fans bring it anyway. Doesn't matter what you play, they'll be going. We'll have Darren Emerson from Underwood. He's Underworld rather. He's the guest DJ today as well. He's a massive West Ham fan, so he'll be bagging some really atmospheric tunes. Not really. Everyone's going to be up for it. It's a night game under the lights. We'll have the fire. We'll have the light show. We'll have all that stuff. So you don't really need to do it. I think I read somewhere, Wally. It was, but don't quote me. There was I think it was pre-season tour, but I'm not too sure. I'll be honest. I definitely read it somewhere the other day. Firestarter and Minefields by the Prodigy. Please, no, I will see what we can do. Sunny hat tricks as Ronnie. No, I reckon it does. I reckon it's. I'll take a draw today. I want to win, but I'll take a draw today. But just a reaction, really. An entertaining draw. But as I said, I've just totally sort of contradicted myself. It's all about getting results now. We've got 8 games left here. There's 24 points up for grabs. And there's a place in Europe really up for grabs, really. And it's these games. Someone mentioned Man United slipping up against Brentford. They did. A win today could really put some pressure up against them. Really put some pressure. Russ wants to play, sending the clowns, but he'll get sacked. I would like Anton on a mic singing old Highland songs. Anton and Cole did that system last summer. Who did? What? I don't know, but you meant Firefly Pro. I do apologise. Anton singing Highland game songs. Probably not. I wouldn't suggest he does, to be honest. I would, although he's very excited because WWE had just announced that the next pay-per-view is good, or a new pay-per-view in Glasgow, Clash of the Castle. So he's going to try and get there and try and get with little Freddie. Little Freddie loves the wrestling. So if anyone who any wrestling, any connections with WWE, let us know. Get help Anton take Freddie to the wrestling. So he'd love that. What we got here? We've let off the hook. Indeed. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a 7-a-side thing that Anton and that lot did in the summer. This is an actual tournament. I'll have to try and find the article. I have to try and find it somewhere. But I'm pretty sure I read it. Boys should be very careful tonight. Some of us are not West Ham fans, but we are specific people haters. We hate to see West Ham lose. Could lose the greatest, says Paps Sixter. Can Anton play bubbles on the bagpipes? No, not really. And actually, he's quite funny, Anton. He's in the fact that he's from Scotland, but actually he is. If it like Scotland was playing England, it'd be all England. I know Vince McMahon must have dropped me a text, but I'm not promising anything. Yeah, Don't worry, David. Thanks anyway. Caduce is your best player. Yeah, and Sonny is your best player. And well, I think Caduce is one of our best players. I think him and Bowen. Bowen's been sensational. Bowen needs one more goal to equal the all-time goals per season for West Ham player in the Premier League, which is 16, which is mental. It's only 16 by Paolo Di Canio. So he's on 15 now. So I hope it'd be great to maybe even beat that. Like, it's a brace today and beats it. Who knows? 8:15 is a weird kick-off time. Any reason? No idea. There's lots of games on. And maybe they're just trying to space them out for TV. No idea. It's very strange. Will Brian get England team for the Euros? Yeah, he'll get into the squad for sure. He'll be in the England squad for sure. He's the. I think is he now that there was him. It was him, Solanke, and Watkins were the three high-scoring English players in the Premier League. I don't know if Bowen's now taken over that or not, but he should be. He should be in the England squad. Deserves to be. But on the right wing, and where Moyes has started to play him again now, back in that right-hand side, that's his position. Arsenal run London, mate. Says Chris Boss Man. Thank you for the 100-something million, mate. Thanks for that. I think he's unquestionably world class, as is Bowen. Indeed, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, no, I think we have. I think Caduce has the potential to be world class, and Bowen. I think Bowen's in the purple patch now, really, because what is he, 27, 28 now? So it's now or never for him. 3:15 in Perth, very good. It'll be quarter past midnight in Dubai, the Dubai Hammers, I think, as well. It goes top Englishman, Kane, Watkins. Not this season, surely, because Kane's in Germany. But I'm talking about the Premier League. Anyway, not sure about the last two. But yeah, no, it should be good. Keep an eye on the channel. We've got the starting 11 show coming up in a couple of hours' time. And then I believe Anton's doing the watch along. And then afterwards, I'll try and log on if I get a decent signal after the game and give you my thoughts as well. Until that, don't forget to take care, stay safe. If you're new around here, lots of new faces. Thank you very much for joining. Think about subscribing, it does help us. We are on the road to hitting 24,000 subscribers, which is mental when you think about it. So, you know, could could we hit maybe 25 by the end of the season? That would be amazing, amazing. But we'll see. Anyway, until next time, don't forget to take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends. And come on, you bloody irons. Irons, irons.